Hey guys, I got this big tray of onions all cut up real nicely. I don't know. What should I do with them? Gosh, onions. I know, French onion soup. Join me today. I'm going to make some French onion soup. This always comes out really good, so follow along, guys. Alright, I want to show you the ingredients. Besides my onions, I have a little bit of sugar just to help caramelize the onions. Gonna have I've got some beef broth. To put on top, we've got some of these garlic, butter seasoned croutons. And I also found some of these Parmesan chips. So a lot of them just use bread, but I like to add a little more flavor. So those, and along with, we'll be putting some mozzarella cheese and putting it in the oven. We need a little bit of vegetable oil to start the pan up to cook our onions down. Soy sauce. Soy sauce really adds a real dimension of flavor. I don't use the sodium free, but if you like, you could, but I want more flavor. Got a little bit of garlic powder here. I have some beef powder. I got two different kinds. This is like beef bouillon seasoning just to kick up that flavor, and a little bit of onion. A little bit of butter to help caramelize our onions. So these are our ingredients. We're all set up. We're going to get ready and start caramelizing the onions there. This takes quite a while, so this process will just go on until you get them down. This bunch of onions is going to turn into a little bit of, just a little bit. That's what it is. So follow along. We're going to do the onions first. All right, guys, we got our skillet set on kind of a medium setting. We've put in some vegetable oil and we've warmed it up now, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to add all these onions to it. I know it looks like a lot of onions, but believe me, when this is all done, these are going to just kind of cook down to almost nothing, and we're going to just start sauteing them down with just the oil on it. Get them all in here. I knew some was going to have a straight onion. Let's just kind of dump them in there. Get our pan out of the way here and get them all in here. We had a couple of runaways. Get them all in there. Smelling good already. You know, onions smell good. When you start cutting them up, they smell good right away. So what we're going to do is we're going to start cooking these things down. It's going to take quite a while to get them all down. Get them all caramelized up, and that's where all the flavor comes from. All that caramelization. Said we're going to use just a little bit of sugar there to help with the caramelization, and then we'll add some. We're going to put some butter in a little towards the end, so we don't want the butter to burn, but we'll add a little more of this later on. We might have to add more oil as we cook them down, so we're in the process. We're going to cook them down, guys. my sous chef. She's been helping. She's been processing the whole way. So she does everything. She tells me how to cook. She's the new cook in the house. So Lacey, she's a pretty good little cook here. Alright, Maggie, she decided she was wanting to be part of this whole process. So she said, Daddy, I can cook too. So Maggie's not usually good. She don't like the camera for so much, but she does like to cook. And even better than cooking, she loves to eat. Alright guys, they're just now starting to get caramelized. Just a little bit. You can start seeing the darkness on the bottom. This camera might not show it. Maybe we have another shot from another angle here. But what I want to do right now is they're just beginning to get the caramelized. What would I ever do without garlic? I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder to it. This will add a little dimension of flavor to it because I love garlic. Now, the reason I wouldn't use fresh garlic or use my minced garlic, garlic will burn and get bitter, but the flavored powder don't tend to do that. So a lot of times I'll replace the powder over fresh garlic or the minced garlic in the can. So we added the garlic to it here, and we're beginning that process of where they're turning caramelization. It'll start moving on a little faster. Do you remember how many onions there was here at the beginning? And right now it's just the bottom of the pan's covered. That's how much they have cooked down. I always like to use the cast iron skillet. It seems like it does well. I love using cast iron. Works good. Look at those. They're really getting nice and browned up good. Starting to get that caramelization going. What I do is every so often I just give it a stir, and I kind of scrape the bottom because you get some of that caramelization on the bottom of the pan. And you see it there as I scrape it up. As I continue scraping that up, you'll see them. Everything's going to get darker and darker as we really now have begun. Actually, look on that knife. See the caramelization on that knife? Get that back into the pan there. But as you can see, that caramelization is beginning to do its thing. I just taste my fingers. Tastes great. Okay, guys, I got to say we're just about there. The onions have really gotten caramelized up nicely there. Give it one nice good scraping here at the bottom. You see they're just dark and rich. Slow heat. I've got my thing set on one notch above medium the whole time I've been cooking that. You don't want to cook it too fast. You want it slow and let the onions have time just to get caramelized up real nicely, and that's where all your flavor comes from. If you're trying to make something in a hurry, this is not one dish that you're going to throw together at the last minute for supper. This is going to take a while. You've got to devote some time to it, and because it's a slow process cooking them down. So they're looking good, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start adding the rest of our ingredients to it. Now that we got them all nice and caramelized. Remember how big that was? I mean, this whole pan was curved full of onions, and now we just have the bottom just covered in the pan. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got a can. This is like a 14.5 ounce can of beef broth. So I'm going to add that right to it. Making our soup end of it. We're going to give this a nice stir up here. Nice, of course, always slop. That's why I keep a rag. Always have yourself a wipe rag in the kitchen so that when you do the slop, look at that broth. Doesn't that look delicious already? And we got a few more things to add to this process. This is just step one. This is basically a two-step process to make French onion soup. This happens to be the first step. But now I like to add some more flavor, so I've got some of this powdered beef broth. So I like to make sure we have a nice brothy, nice beefy look. So I got like a good, well, I'm going to say a tablespoon and a half of this beef powder, just to kick up the flavor a little bit. And then even kick it up a little bit more. I like soy sauce. I don't use the low sodium. I use the regular sodium. And I'm just putting a big old dash. To me, you saw I put quite a bit in there. This is the key to delicious French onion soup, is put a nice big old glop of, you call it a glop? Anyways, a nice big bunch of soy sauce in it. You could use the low sodium if you want, but here's my rule with low fat, low sodium equals low taste. That's what I think. And I know if you're on a diet or special thing where you can't, you have to, but if you can use the full fats, the full flavors, instead of sugar-free, use sugar. If you're going to use sugar, flavor will be so much better. A lot of them will say, oh, this, so you can't tell the difference. I can. So anyways, we're going to cook this down just a little bit more. We'll be getting ready for the next process. All right, guys, there's our French onion soup all cooked down. Now we got to finish it off. We had to add some things. We're going to be adding some mozzarella cheese. I've got some garlic and butter seasoned croutons and some Parmesan crisps. But the first thing we want to do is we have these little ramekins. I guess that's what you call these things. Little ramekins. And I'm going to attempt to put an equal amount of the soup in each one of these. And try not to make a mess. So far, so good. Some of that onions in there. Let me just scrape a little bit of that onions. We don't want any of them to go to waste, so get some of those onions scraped in there and into the... So there we go. We've got them both in here. We're going to set this off to the side for a moment. Now, our next process is we want to add these seasoned croutons and this Parmesan crisp. I've never used a Parmesan crisp. The reason I'm using them is because I didn't have as many of these croutons. And just put those all over top here. Some of them use bread. You can use like dried bread. But these have garlic in them, and garlic and butter. How much more could you ask for? Garlic and butter. And just sprinkle those even over the top. And then we're going to take these Parmesan crisps. Parmesan ought to be good. And whatever we have left of these, we're going to add a few of them. There we go. Evenly distribute those. Then the next thing is Parmesan cheese. Actually, not Parmesan, but mozzarella cheese. I'm going to put a good layer of mozzarella cheese over top of each of these. This is what really sets off your French onion soup. Have just a nice layer of cheese on top. And I'm using just the shredded mozzarella. Same thing I use in pizza. But I'd like to put a nice thick layer. I'm going to use this whole package. And it's probably, what is that? About 8 ounces. Get that all sprinkled across the top. Takes a minute to do that, get them out sprinkled over there. Hey, it looks good already. But next thing we got to do is we got to pop them in the oven. We got an oven set at 350. We're going to pop them in there and finish them out. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to take them out of these little trays. I think they got rubber grips on them, so you want to take them out of them. I'm going to slip them here. We have our oven set here at 350. So we're going to take them out there and put them in there. And all we got to do is leave them in here until that cheese gets all nice and golden and beautiful. So I'll be back as soon as they get done. Okay, it's been about around 10 minutes or so that we've had them in here. I'm going to check them here, guys. And oh, they're beautiful. They're looking good. So let's pull these out. and try not to get burnt. So pull each one of these out separately. I want to show this to you. Look at that. My gosh, those things look delicious. We're going to put them over here in our little crate. They're plenty hot. Doesn't quite even look like soup. It looks like a souffle with all that cheese on top and that. So there they go, guys. About 10 to 15 minutes. I did put it on the broil cycle to help get the top nice and browned up. All right, there they are. All done up. I like these little things that when something's hot, you can actually keep them in these little trays. These are pretty cool. I don't know what you call them, but they're a little ceramic thing. I cook in them and that a lot. But there we are, French onion soup. I'm gonna see if I can take a bite of it. They're pretty hot, and but let's see if we can get in here once and take just a quick bite. You kind of punch through that cheese a little bit. Look at that. The cheese coming out of there. Now that's what you call awesome goodness. It's going to be hot, I can tell you right now. It's hot. Oh, but it's delicious. There you go, guys. If you want to try this, devote a little time. It's delicious. I know what we're having for supper. French onion soup, and it's delicious, guys. So give it a try. Hey, if you have any questions, comments, leave it in the section. Do you ever make it? How do you do yours? We've made this quite a few times. If you have any other questions besides that, how you want to think something maybe could be done differently, let me know. But if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to hit the subscribe button. Hit that little bell at the top. It'll notify you when I have another video. Often, we do quite a few different videos, a lot of cooking ones lately because we've been inside with this virus, so we've been doing some cooking videos. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna eat myself some soup. Still hot. Thanks guys. Happy eating. Alright, if you want to see how to get some of our other links, when you go to our main YouTube page, up here into the picture area right here, you'll see it says like Facebook. You can click on that. That'll take you right over to our Facebook group. And you're welcome. You can join the Facebook group, add your videos, add whatever you meant, do some discussion there, but you can go there. If you would like to support us on the Amazon, again up in this picture you'll see a link that says Amazon. Click on that link right there. Go ahead and sign in, make all your purchases, and what will happen here, you'll give us a tip. We get a small percentage back. Costs you absolutely nothing, but it does help us out and we appreciate that. But I just show you a few little links here if you want to go to some other features we have here at Lucky Dog Productions.